this is Frank Romano for whattheythink.com. Well, recently I was at the America East Conference and I met these three gentlemen. And what was interesting was we were talking about newspaper production in this new age, if you will. And they all had samples of things they were doing involving inkjet. First we had Rod Winscott, president of NewsWeb Corporation in, I think they're in the Chicago area. And they were a coal type, and still are, a coal type offset producer. And they put in a TKS jet leader, which is an inkjet press. TKS is a supplier of web systems, and they adapted inkjet. And they are producing a wide variety of small newspapers in the Chicago area. Now, by the way, what's amazing is this is all inkjet. We're not talking about offset here. We're talking about inkjet. And by the way, it's printing on plain paper. There's no special paper for inkjet here. This is amazing. And by the way, they've ordered a second one because, again, as their runs have gotten shorter and page counts have gotten less, they find that inkjet is specifically in the right area. For longer run documents, longer run newspapers, and high page count, they continue to use offset. Ron Sams from Man Roland, which has a partnership with OSE, either you can adapt the heads on the machine or put it in line, or you can have an offline system, but it's wide enough to handle newsprint. And this is, by the way, I think that they gave out samples of this particular German newspaper at Drupa, but this is a German publisher who is producing on a regular basis a complete edition with inkjet. And then lastly, we had Tim Street. Tim is operations director for Tribune Direct, which is in Chicago, but they also own the Los Angeles Times, don't forget. And they have a Kodak Prosper Press. And they are producing direct mail materials. So, pizza stuff. By the way, look at how gorgeous this is. I mean, most people would never know that this was inkjet. They would never know that it was not offset lithography. This is Peapod, which is even big where I am. And by the way, these are variations of the same thing that go to different people. And the advantage to using inkjet is not only does it personalize, but it also addresses. So you get it comes out of the machine in the right order, ready to go into the mailing system. Here's more for Peapod. Here's a case where they took the same essential piece and they branded it for different organizations. Now, again, everything comes out of the machine ready to go. So a lot of what we used to do in this world, if you think about it, were pre-printed shells. They've essentially gotten rid of pre-printed shells and they print everything directly. Here's another one for a carpet cleaning company. Now, these are all coded and they're just absolutely wonderful. But it was interesting to have this panel at the America East show talking about how they're applying inkjet. Now, the Prosper Press, of course, is a very high quality press, and the reason that they're using it at Tribune Direct is that they've found new services to provide to their advertisers. So they do direct mail programs for them, and they use personalized direct mail in many cases. And this is different than many newspapers that are still struggling to figure out where they're going to make money in this new age as we move into websites rather than print. So that's why most newspapers are seeing a decline in the number of pages and the runs. So some of them are only printing 3 days a week. In fact, when I was in Hershey for America East, the Harrisburg paper was only printing 3 days a week. So where else can you make money? Well, one is with high quality inkjet to produce direct mail materials, and also then with inkjet to actually produce the issue. I mean, look at the reproduction of the vehicle there. And by the way, you go through this and you say, well, what's wrong with it? Well, there's nothing wrong with it. It's absolutely perfect. Person getting this, it's print. And it's produced inexpensively and quickly because it's direct. We don't have to then have any of the pre-press problems to deal with. No plates. It's all digital. And by the way, the next job is right in line. So you don't have to do the make ready for the press as you go through it. So that's why they've been putting this press in. In fact, it was very tight in the building they're in. They've had to now expand into a bigger location to handle that and the newer press that's coming in. So in any case, inkjet is truly growing, and especially in the newspaper industry, where most people thought it would not really take off for a while, but it's taking off now, and that's my opinion. And he has introduced something, or we're going to introduce something very interesting. David, what is that?